Hey there, you're watching Alexa. Welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, welcome. You've landed on a finale. What are you doing here? I'm just kidding. Obviously welcome. In today's video, I'm doing my project pan finale for the New Decade Pan Project 2020, which was started by Rebecca from Panning and Stuff. She is an amazing panner. I have no idea how she does what she does while she does the work that she does and how she has the time to do it, because clearly your girl is lazy. I am a baby panner. Oh wait, before I start, let me preface this by saying the premise of this project was to grab 10 all new products for the beginning of 2020 and see how much you could get through for the year, I suppose. And it's a non-rolling project pan. Not that I've needed to do any rolling. Spoiler alert. The first product we have in this project is the Uemura Super Mario Bros. Block Booster. This is just a Super Mario Bros. Collection edition of the Block Booster. It is a primer with a bit of sunscreen. It's got a bit of a tint. It started, and I'm gonna start giving you start weights. It started at 42 grams, and now we're at 26. I feel like there's definitely quite a few uses in here. There's also air bubble. I can't see through the packaging, so I can't tell you how much is really left, but I feel like a few more uses, and I actually intend to roll it in to another project or have it be part of my routine still, because I'd like to get this out. The collection was quite old, and I'm sure that the SPF factor is not good anymore. The next item I have to cover is the Pure 4-in-1 Bare Doll Foundation Golden Beige, which I started at 47 grams. I had maybe only used it a couple of times before the beginning of this project. At that time that I started this project, I didn't have any unopened foundations, but I knew what I wanted to do was to include a full face of products for this project. So that's why I go primer, foundation, concealer, etc. 47 grams down to 42. Oh my god, I only used 5 grams of this. Okay, so my excuse here is it's not the perfect shade for me. I've had to dilute this. I would gladly toss this if it were to go off. I wouldn't have any guilty conscience about it because it was a PR sample. I've given it ample testing. I'm starting to learn that I much prefer a more satin finish. Maybe not dewy because I am oily, but I feel like my skin likes to overcompensate for the fact that this is a matte foundation. So I've always had to mix it in with something else. And it's a couple of shades too light for me in the summer. Had it been my right shade in the summertime and in the winter, I would have maybe made a better dent in this product. Next, we will go to the Maybelline Age Rewind, which you can see I definitely have progress. I am about halfway through this. As you might have noted in my concealer series this year, because I actually did 8 concealer reviews. If you haven't seen them, I will link them down below, and there will be a playlist linked in the iCards. Tap that. I used to love this concealer before, a few years ago, and now I started to notice that it definitely does crease on me. I tend to use it for more highlighting purposes these days, now that I realize how much it can crease on me if I'm not very careful with it. So, yee. It's also quite a bit drying, so you need to make sure that you have very well moisturized under eyes because it's a very thin consistency and non-hydrating formula. So, whoa, there's that. I feel like I have much more well-rounded thoughts about all the products right now. Not just because it's the end of Project Pan, but because I've sat around and thought about it after doing these review series videos and paid more special attention, more close attention to product performance lately. The next product I have is the Nyx Hd Finishing Powder. I definitely made quite a dent in this. It started at 43 grams and it's now down to 38. I suspect most of that is the packaging. I actually looked back because I've been doing a bit of a collection inventory for myself, and I may or may not share some numbers with you guys, definitely when I do my Pan Those Shadows or start my Pan Those Shadows series. I didn't even finish the Makeup Forever HD powder that I was panning last year. There's still a bit of product around the edge of it, and I didn't start that brand new. This was started completely brand new. I don't over apply. I don't tend to apply as much as I used to because of the pandemic and because I tend to wash my face after wearing makeup for a few hours. So I don't find myself as dependent on finishing powders as I was before, just because I just don't need the longevity as much. I will set my makeup, that's for sure, but I'm just not topping up as much. But that's my usage, and you know what? I'm satisfied, and I don't feel bad that I didn't finish this actually. I definitely used it practically on a daily basis. Even some days I wasn't wearing makeup, I was still using a bit of powder just to absorb oils. Especially if I paired it with a sort of CC cream and the primer. Following that, we have the Essence I Love Stage eyeshadow base. It started at 23, it's down to 21 right now. I can maybe see that the product is settling at this point. I see something happening with the formula, but most of the time I have it laying down on its side in my makeup drawer. So I don't know if that has any influence in it. I've definitely used a substantial amount of this, especially this month when I started doing my concealer series. I realized that you could use eyeshadow base to sort of prolong the wear of your under eye concealer. So I started using more of it, but I mean, I'm not surprised that I've not finished it. Let me see. I'm gonna have a look-see inside and see if I can give you a better... No, there's a stopper. You really can't see in it that well, but I know I've used this a lot. 2 grams of eyeshadow base is a lot, right? It's a lot. Next, I have the Wet n Wild Rosé in the Air palette. Do you see all the pan? Oh my god, for me this is a big deal, okay? Because I am someone who maybe only had pan in like 3 eyeshadows. Whenever I gush, my eyes get watery. I even hit pan on the one up here. Can you believe that? Oh, I'm so excited. I really thought I would have hit pan in one of the transition shades, but if you just take a brush and like brush it across lightly to use it for bronzer or contour, it doesn't have the same effect as just like rotating a makeup brush, like an eyeshadow brush in the center here. I did not have to dig to create these pans. I just want to preface that because I know some people have this like conception that every project panner is like digging the brush in the center of the eyeshadow. I was not. These are very powdery, probably not the best formula. It is a very kind of chalky formula, and it's quite easy to hit pan on this when you're trying to achieve a certain amount of opacity in terms of your eyeshadow look. But I'm also not trying to minimize how big of a deal this is for me, just because it's not a super densely packed and pigmented eyeshadow. For me, it's still quite significant to hit pan in this many eyeshadows in a palette like this. And had it not been the year that it was, aka 2020 quarantine, I would have probably done more damage in this. Anyway, just putting that out there. Quite happy with this. In terms of weight, the eyeshadow palette only went down 1 gram. And it went down 1 gram in my last update. So I think that was in the beginning of November. Yeah, so not very much, but I think a lot of the weight of that particular product is the actual packaging and not so much the product itself, although there is significant amount of eyeshadow left in that. I am by no means trying to pan the entire palette or anything. I have a substantial amount of eyeshadows. I've gone ahead and retallied up my eyeshadow collection, but including PR as well as opened products, so untouched PR and opened things that were already integrated into my collection. And it's a lot of eyeshadow to have gone to be put aside for a year, and I just don't want to do that again. I included a mascara in this project pan, which it will be in my empties. It was the Clinique Chubby Mascara because I knew that I wanted to at least finish one project, at least for my self-esteem, to kind of just give me a pump at the beginning of the project. But I did add an 11th item at the same time, so it doesn't, to me, it almost sort of doesn't even count. I know a lot of people don't put mascaras in project pans because, I mean, you're gonna go through it in 3 to 4 months guaranteed, and you usually only have a couple open at a time, da 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 da. But I did finish that, and I finished 2 grams worth of that Clinique Chubby Mascara. The next item was the Uemura blush in orange, which I don't know if you can tell, it's such a creamy consistency. This is just an insanely creamy blush. I don't even think that swatch is doing it justice. I'll probably throw in a natural light swatch of this, but there was no way of any blush that I could have chosen. This would have been so difficult / next to impossible to pan, and at the time I didn't realize it because I had maybe only swatched it once and hadn't remembered that it was a very firmly pressed, creamy blush that actually has a powder finish. So it's a cream to powder finish and wears almost like a highlighter or a blush topper rather than a blush on my skin tone. So I wasn't hate panning it. I definitely enjoyed it, but it was not easy. It was probably not going to happen unless I was using this on maybe 10 faces or something. It went down from 26 to 25 grams, and the 1 gram's worth of progress actually showed up in last month's update. Oh my god, you guys, this next product was a bit like the bane of my existence. And again, I'm not a fan of hate panning, but this was not my favorite thing to use because it was so difficult to see progress. That was the main reason why I found it difficult. And I guess a bit because of the labeling and the product itself. I'm so happy to not be using this, like, or not have to use this compulsively anymore. Compulsorily. Is that a word? So that product is obviously the Pixie Shea Butter Lip Balm in Sweet Peach, and I still have this much. And I actually have a newer one in a different shade that I'm going to show you just so that you can see the comparison of how much got used versus how much didn't. Let me explain to you why this was so difficult. And let's give it a top up. This product is not a lip balm. They call it the Shea Moisture Butter, whatever. It's not. It's a lipstick in lip balm packaging, because I don't consider a tinted lip balm to be something that is difficult to be applied without a mirror. And this, I definitely needed a mirror to apply. I mean, not just now because I'm wearing lip liner and I just applied it to the center of my lip, but without a lip liner or without a base of color, basically, if I wasn't using this as a topper shade, I would 100% need a mirror to do this. And I actually just use the viewfinder, so this whole argument is ridiculous. My thing with this is it's in very cheap packaging. It's clearly a lipstick. It's meant to be moisturizing. It was not really that moisturizing. And the kicker is, although I liked the shade, worn on its own, it was too peachy, too bright for my skin tone, which is not the way it translates in the tube, or like the tube color is not the same as the bullet. And I put this in my project before ever even opening it, so I had no idea. The other thing is that without a base or a lip liner to it, still reapplying, it collects in the creases of my lips. So you definitely need to prep your lips before wearing this. Tell me, in what world do we live in that you would actually have to need to exfoliate and prep your lips so that a lip balm doesn't, like a tinted lip balm doesn't settle into the crack of your lips? That's ridiculous. Like, it's just It's so stupid. Although I did actually like it, I really like it as a topper shade. It made wearing lip liners fun and comfortable. I was mixing up my lip liner combinations. I was even mixing this with lipsticks. But that being said, even just using it as a topper shade, it's not something that I was wearing around the house very easily because again, it slipped into cracks. It was not as moisturizing as a regular lip balm, a normal lip balm, and it just, I mean, it just makes no sense. But yeah, that's my excuse about that. And also, can we talk about this discrepancy? So looking at these, you would think that this is the color that would not look good on me. And I've not tried it on. I'm gonna show you the newer one. How does this look like it's this? Like, I'm so confused. If I had put this one in my project, which is in the shade Natural Rose, I might have gotten through it. Maybe, if I didn't have the exact same problems. But yeah, again, did not hate pan. I do like it, but just, is it my favorite thing ever? No, it's really not, no. And it just further proves to me that I have a really hard time with lip products as it is. Tack on the fact that it's 2020. I know everyone's been saying this, but 2020 has been the death of the lipstick because there's just no way. Like, you're wearing a mask, this transfers all the time. If anything, lip liners and lip stains should have been the it thing, but right now lip gloss is in style. Which, again, lip gloss, do you really wear lip gloss with your mask? Let me know in the comments down below what you wear with your mask. That's what I want to know. Guys, and speaking of lip products, I don't want to ramble too much, but the lip base I was using is this discontinued one from Clarins. It is called the Instant Lip Perfecting Base. I can't twist this up anymore. It was actually white, but right now it's a bit of a, I topped my lip liner with this and then I put on the pixie thing, and that helps the product not cling on to the cracks of my lips because, you know, hey, it's winter, it's -15 outside. What do you want me to say? So yeah, I mean, at least I did get through some other lip products, I guess. I also used a couple of my lip liners a lot. The next item that I have is the Charlotte Tilbury Classic Eye Powder Pencil. It's another product I have a hard time finishing because I'm not a big eyeliner girl, but this is where we're at. It's weighing in at 2 grams instead of 3. You can definitely tell I've sharpened it a lot and I do use it. I used it for a time to fill in my eyebrows. It didn't last very long. Like, I'm not going to hate pan it on my eyebrows when I love it around my eyes. Like, I actually did my wing with this today, and then I just used another eyeshadow and smudged it on top. Here, I have another liner from Charlotte. I'm just gonna show you the side by side because their liners are generally about the same height, so that's how much I went through. Oh my god, that looks like nothing. Listen, girl, liner is not my jam. I'm learning. I'm learning. Oh my gosh, but I did really enjoy it and I'm not sad that it's not done because I like using it. It's like an off black color that worked with so much stuff, and I would even wear it sometimes when I wasn't wearing makeup, but it just goes to show a little goes such a long way. Such a long way. The Revlon setting spray from the Photo Ready line. You guessed it, I didn't finish. Now, I was not going to forcibly use 100 pumps of this. Not 100, but like 3 extra pumps a day to get through this any faster this month because it's setting spray. It's something I'm putting into my skin. I don't want to use it in excessive amounts, and I know I'm going to finish this. It's not going to take me long. Give me the month of January and it'll be done. So it started at 76 grams and it was completely unused, unopened, or maybe I had only used it once. And now we are at 38 grams. I'm so glad I added a setting spray. I feel like that kind of saved me. The total amount of product I've used in grams this year for this project has been 75 grams. And that's including the 2 grams from the Clinique mascara that I decided to count in, because that's what the difference in weight was between when I started using it and when I added it to my empties, because it was too dry and flaky to use. Yeah, so that's the project pan this year. Congratulations to making it to the end of this video. I can't believe I was able to stand most of these products for the total extent of the year. I didn't hate it. I didn't, but I am 100% totally ready to do a pan those shadows, which is more of a roulette style, roulette panning style. And I'm also introducing Partners in Cream. I submitted my request to be included in that, but like, even if I'm not officially included in it, I'm just going to be doing it for myself. I don't know. I didn't get any confirmation or anything. I don't know how it works, but we'll see. We'll see. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know how your project pans went this year. What has been your finale? What has your finale been like? Whether you're a blogger or not, do you like tally up everything and kind of see where you've gotten up to? I find it really interesting, you know? I learned a lot about myself this year because, again, this has only been more or less my 2nd year panning, and I'm going to go on to my 3rd, so I'm still relatively new, and I'm learning, people. I am learning. All right, see you in my next video, which will probably be my skincare project pan finale. And yeah, happy holidays.